Any better, guys? Quality's better? Old fart better? Okay, well, we'll give it a try. I don't know. I don't know. I'll give it my best, guys. If it, hopefully I won't lose anybody. I mean, I won't lose the stream again. I hope not. But thank you again for everybody coming back. Let me know where you're coming in from. That would be nice. All right. So let's take a look at Bitcoin real quick. Talk about it for a second. Okay. Because the whole market is going to depend on what Bitcoin does, right? So even, any altcoin that we want to do whatever, Bitcoin drops, most likely altcoins are going to drop with it. Well, they are basically. So we can, debate, and debate and debate what, this long-term trend of Bitcoin is. Anyone that says they know 100% sure what degree we're in, what wave we're in up here, for sure, there's no way to tell that because it can be interpreted many different ways. And yes, we do have this little humpity hump look here, and we haven't had that look before. But it doesn't mean that it isn't something new. Bitcoin's been around approximately 11 years, 12 years now, okay? There could be many different things that it does along the way. You take a look at something long term like Microsoft or um, maybe Coca-Cola or one of those, and not all tops are the same. So I'm not trying to be bearish. I'm not saying that we're going in a bear market, but we need to be aware that it is possible that if we lose this 30K, 29K area, that it could be that we are going to come down into the 20K area. Because that's where the first support comes in. And it's not really showing it on this chart, but it does on the other charts. So the major support, first major support, is coming in this block here. Okay. So if we were to come down to that area, say price broke here and it came down into that area, I really think that it would hold. I don't think we would ever break that area. There's too much support there, and I'll show you on the other charts. What I think that it would probably be is a higher degree fourth. If I had to guess, It's either some type of higher degree fourth that's going to get drug out a little bit because it needs to be somewhat longer than this one. Because a prior degree fourth, it should be smaller in time than a higher degree fourth. But I don't think that we'd ever break. And plus, higher degree fourths like to come into prior degree fourths. They don't usually break them. So we would probably stay on top of it or come somewhere inside of it. And then the bull run to come after that would be, big. It would be big like this or like this, okay? So yes, it might get ugly. It might. I think that a lot of people may have their line drawn in the sand here because if you think about it this way, and I have said this before in my videos, say you bought down here, or say you bought even higher, but say, you bought in this area, and you saw your portfolio go all the way up to here. Big earnings, okay? And then you sat through this dump and watched it go down. And then you saw it go back up and even higher than what you had before. And now you didn't take profits at this top because you weren't expecting it, say. And now you've sat through all this and now we're dumping again. If I was a trader who basically really didn't know what was going on, I think that I would have my line drawn in the sand here because I would want to hold on to this gain to buy in potentially lower if this were to break. Because guys, there's not a lot of support in between there. The only support we have is this little tick right there. Now we do have some sitting at 20K, of course, way back there on the top of the 20K bull run, okay? But that's that tick right there. So if we lose this area, the major support is coming in this area right here, okay? And I think that if we lose it, and this is just my bias, doesn't mean it's true. I think if we lose it, it's going to be kind of like a capitulation type dump, okay? All right, so we'll have to see, okay? We'll have to see what happens. All right, let's go back to the other chart. Now, on the weekly time frame, to continue this run, we have got to get back trending in the bullish zone. The bullish zone is 50 and above. Actually, it's 40 and above. But on a weekly time frame for Bitcoin, it's 50 and above. Every asset has its own personality. Bitcoin's personality is the weekly likes to hold 50 to 90. So we don't want to do this, where we trend bonking our heads on 50 or even bonking our heads on the 60 mark, because that would be trending in the bearish zone. Now, right now, we bonked our head on the 70 after making a lower high from here. Okay, that divergence was there. And now we're pushing down. What needs to happen here, guys, is if we're going to reset, or say reset to 30, okay? If we're going to reset, After that, we need to climb out of here. We need to climb out of here and come up above the red like we did over here. We need to climb like this. This is what needs to happen. Climb out of there. And then we've got a trend up in here. That's what needs to happen on the weekly, okay? So, yeah. What we don't want to happen is that we reset at 30, come up, bonk our heads on 50, or bonk our heads on 60, and then trend in the bearish territory. We don't want that to happen because that's just going to mean we're going to go into a full-blown bear market. Now, one more thing I just want to talk about, and some of you may have already seen this, but some of you may have not. I want to go over briefly, really quick here, how a bear market happens. So what happens is we initially had this three-wave move. Perfect, fine, three-wave move. We came right into the top of our prior fourth. This was perfect for another fourth wave. Let me move this over because you may not be able to see it, and I didn't think about that. Okay, so we had a perfect fourth looking wave. Then we made something that looked like a 1 and a 2. We had a wave that looked like a 3, and we were even making this triangle look for wave 4. But what it caused, it made a flat. And at that point, you have to connect this leg to the connector, and it needs a partner leg. So now we have another complete correction. At that point, the market had a chance to make a 5-wave move out of here. But it didn't. What it did was make another flat, which created a connector. At that point, you have to take this whole leg and give it a partner. At that point, we were still okay. We were still holding the prior fourth degree. But what did the market do? It made a 3-wave move. As soon as it did that, I knew that we were not going anywhere because the market cannot take off on 3 waves. We made a 3-wave to the downside, which was an expanded B, and we made that move to the upside. This is an expanded flat, which is a connector again. Now you have to connect this entire wave and give it a partner leg. And there we go. At this point, the market had the chance to come out of here. And honestly, the whole world thought that we were because this was a really good climb. But what gave it away was the overlapping waves. They were touching each other. This is a really big flat. It was a connector again. Now you have to connect this entire move and give it a partner leg. And that's what happened when we had that capitulation. And that's how a bear market takes place, is by not coming out of there in 5 waves and making 3-wave moves until you finally come out of there with a 5-wave move. And after, and after that capitulation, we finally made a leading diagonal, which got us out. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Yaka? Not sure. But if you know, I don't seem to have a clue which direction Bitcoin will go. Well, I kind of do. Okay. But if you don't like the stream, don't stay here, okay? There's no reason to be rude. Like that just takes such low character. All right. So, what are we doing right now? Okay? Because this is the tell-all right here. So right now, we've got this leg to the downside. We do have a potential wave here that could be a fifth wave. Or it can be argued that it's a zigzag ABC. Okay? But what's most important is what we've done right here. Because what did when I was showing you how the bear market happens, well, when the market fails to make a 5-wave move and it makes 3 waves from the beginning, we know that we're not leaving out of here bullishly. So, yes, the market can climb higher correctively. And if it's going to do it here, it's going to do it in a channel-like motion, which this is really deep already. I mean, it's really going to have to stop here soon, okay, for the triangle. But what it can do now, because it started in 3, is climb up for the triangle, okay? And it would become our D wave. Because a D wave needs a corrective climb. It needs a 3-wave move. But we're going to have to stop dumping. Okay? We're really going to have to stop dumping if this count has any hope. Okay? Yeah. It really needs to stop its dump. Okay? So, with that said, we've made a 3-wave move. Right now, we can still call this move to the downside an A, a B, and a C. Okay, because we haven't quite hit this 2.236 yet. So what can it do? Well, it can use this 3 waves, this 3 waves, and then it can try to kick to the upside. And that's how it can start its climb up to the D wave. Or it's going to be a 3-wave move, and it's going to be a connector. And hopefully the higher the better, because what it means is we're going to have to take this leg, partner it up with it, and give it a partner leg. Okay? So when I say the higher the better this leg goes, is because it means that we can get this leg higher, and we could potentially not break this if we can get this leg up high. Oscar, does it support a triangle? Yes, actually. So say this was to climb up, I would give it room for that RSI there. And then, yeah, it looks okay. It's a little deep there. It's not perfect, but it's okay, okay? On a high time frame like this, it's not going to be absolutely perfect, but it's not the ugliest one I've ever seen. Okay, so yeah. So if we can climb high, we can potentially get this leg higher. And then we can turn either this whole move into a WXY. It's pretty much what we'll be looking at, okay? If we can get a high pop here. Now, if we make 5 waves down, we know what that means. For those of you that know Elliott wave, what starts with 5 ends with 5. So if we turn this into 1, leading diagonal, 2, all of this 3, 4 looks like it's trying to come up into the prior 4, and come on down and make a 5. Guys, I'm going to be looking at this as a 5-wave move. Yes, we do have hidden bullish divergence. Yes, on the higher time frames. Um, yes, and so right now, okay, here's our 4th. If we come down for the 5th, we'll be able to create probably a 4-hour divergence here between this 3rd and 5th. 6 hours, probably same thing. 8-hour will probably not break the low and give us a divergence like this, and we'll have this divergence. We also have the divergence from this low up. Not quite. We have it from, well, I'm going to dig into this right here, and I pretty much see a rollover, so we'll probably get this divergence. But yes, you are correct. We are getting bullish divergence. All right, let's take a look at this little climb we have. How's this stream doing? Is it still doing okay? No lagging, buffering? Trying to get in here close so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay. So right here, we have a 3-wave move. We have a little leading diagonal, pullback, and a C wave. Let me make these lines bigger so you guys can see this. That's better. Right there tells me from the very beginning that this took off correctively. We got a 3-wave pullback and then a zigzag up. Okay? Creating a W. This middle was a connector. Then we made a partner leg. This hit the 618, which is minimum requirement. So we have a WXY. Okay, to the upside. Now we've broken the channel. So right now, this is still, let me get down a little further, take a look at this wave to the downside. Okay. So basically what the market's trying to do is it's trying to climb higher. But it's corrective, guys. And it's basically trying to make a higher degree W. This is probably going to turn into a bigger 3-wave XY. And what it's actually trying to do is get back up into this prior degree 4th. But it's definitely corrective. This prior degree 4th right here. I don't have any way to make this bullish, which means that most likely this is a 4 and we're coming down for another 5. Now, one thing I do want to point out, this wave to the downside is a diagonal, but it is a very ugly diagonal, like probably one of the worst ones I've ever seen. So if we do not break $39,350 with this little climb here, we need to keep in mind that this could be a 1 and this is a 2, and we're going to get a deeper 5th. Okay? Just keep that in mind. I'm not saying that it's 100%, but we need to keep it on the table. Okay? Right now, we're thinking this is a 4th climb. This was the end of a 3rd, which this is the way I'm leaning, is that this is another 4th. But we need to keep it in mind that this could be a 1. This could be a 2, and we're going to get an overextended 5th. Okay? Just keep that in mind. All right. Yeah, that's our options. You know, I really do see another rollover. And yes, you know, you may be asking, those of you that know Elliott wave, well, why can't we still call it an ABC even if it hits the 2.236? Well, the reason is because I have no more 1 waves that I can use up here. I have no choice now but to use this leading diagonal. So I can't call it an A anymore because we're creating a potential another 4th wave. And I don't have any more 1s up in here that I can use. So we have to use this now, which makes it a 5-wave move. Hope that makes sense. All right. Well, I think that's just about all I wanted to say. So let me catch up on chat real quick. And let's see. Strong, I think, was the first request. Let me just see if there was any questions in here real quick before we go to requests. Looks like it's all requests. Yeah, 7K would be savage. Like, ooh, I would load up too. Yeah, and don't forget also we have these gaps. Like, are we going to leave these gaps behind? I don't know. You know? And we even have a little one sitting down here. All right, I think I don't see any questions. Oh, Alpha, I'm not worried about it. Like, I wasn't going to say anything, but then, you know, sometimes I just have to, you know, it's rude. Uh, guitarist? A zigzag? No, we can't make a zigzag up because we started with 3 waves. Okay, but if we can some way hold this 3-wave move, which I'm not particularly leaning that way, but if we can, what we can do is make a flat. Okay, now what we could do, guys, okay, this is thinking outside the box, is we could do an expanded B here and then get a big flat. How would we do that? By making this 5 waves an A, coming high for a B, and making a zigzag in between. Keep that one in mind, okay? If we start making a zigzag to the downside, which would be kind of hard to tell at first, but we start getting bullish divergence, and this lands in the B pocket. And for those of you that don't know what that is, you pull on your A wave and you put on your expanded B fibs. People learn this in my Discord. Okay, this B can hit these extensions. Oops, that was a C. This B can hit these extensions here and pop to the upside for the C wave, which we have seen this pretty much all weekend in this every weekend they've been killing us, especially in here. That's what all that was. So this right here, this move, this was a flat. This is what I'm talking about, where it breaks the A, goes into the expanded B pocket, and you get this straight up C. Now this was a running flat. It's bearish, okay? But an expanded flat is huge. And that's what it could possibly do, okay? Make a zigzag, go into the expanded B pocket. Everybody thinks it's going down, and bam, we get this big candle right up into the air, okay? So, yeah, there's some more shenanigans definitely that they could do. All right. Do I have a list of requests? Alpha, did you, you're always my person. Expanded diagonal to 2400. Are you talking about this expanding diagonal? Oh, I don't have it on here. So yes, this is still a potential ending. I forgot about this one, guys. So we do A, 5 waves, B, we come down in C, and this could end this for us. But we're going to need this wave to be longer than this one because the third wave can't be the shortest. Okay? So it's going to have to come to approximately the end of this, you know, it's going to have to come to there. That's a pretty long wave, but it's got to be longer than this one. Otherwise, the third would be the shortest. So yeah, it's still on the table, but we're going to have a pretty long ABC zigzag. I think that's what you meant. If not, let me know. Okay. Yes, Martin, that's what I just said, that we're going to have to make this wave longer because 3 is shorter. Yes, absolutely, you're right. All right, so first one was asked like right off. I don't know if this person's still here, but it's strong. And then we'll go to the list. And we'll look at the DXY also. Thank you, Alpha, for keeping this list for me. All right, so strong. All right, so strong, we have a third, we have a fifth. Third is the highest point on RSI. Then the divergence tells us that that's a fifth, which means that I really would have liked to have seen it hold the prior fourth wave, and it didn't. And now it is coming down into this area. Now I do think that this is a 1 and a 2. So yeah, that unfortunately, yeah, that can't be like that. So because this has come so deep already, let me get a little closer here. All right, so I think the inner of the third is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it really, a higher degree fourth should hold this prior degree. But it's not invalid to come into this one. We just absolutely, it can't come into its one here. If we're going to say that this is a fourth wave. Okay. We cannot come into this yellow line. Otherwise, then this is making a wave 2. So it would turn all of this into a 1, higher degree. And now it would be coming down for a 2 that could come deep. So if Bitcoin goes into a bear market, then this one will play around with Bitcoin and come down for a wave 2. Which means it could do 3 down like this, 3 up. Okay, depending on how high. It would have to at least come to the 618 to do 5 down. Or if it doesn't make it that high, then it has to do 3 down. And this all would become 2. Yes, it would be ugly, but the bull run to come would be gigantic because it would be the third wave to come. So yes, it doesn't look too good right now, but if it can hold this, then it has a chance for this to be a fourth of higher degree and go up for a fifth. Or it's going to be a 2. And if you're not invested in it, okay, and you're just watching it, which I don't know the case, if I wasn't invested, I'd want it to come down for the 2 so I could load up and ride that third to the moon. But if you are invested, I understand. And, you know, it's got to hold this. If it doesn't, it is going to be a wave 2. Okay. Mana. I just need to see if one has more info. Nope. All right. Oh, yeah. All right. So this one actually looks good. Did that break? 0.011, 116. Just barely did break. Wow. All right. So, and this coin, I mean, this one really looks good. This looks like it's a third. And all this coin has to do is hold this prior degree fourth here. Oh, forget it. Okay. If it can do that, then going up for that fifth. So also, if it can hold this trend line, would even be better. That would be extremely bullish. And it would push up. This is probably, you know, one of the better ones I've seen. Right, this is definitely, you know, started off in 3 waves right here. So just like Bitcoin, it has the chance to push up in 3 and maybe come down in 3 and hold this. Let me take a look at this little leg right there. So unlike most altcoins that I've seen, that you can't justify a 5-wave move here, this one has it. So it's got 1 or 2 choices here. 3-wave move like I talked about. Okay. Or it's going to be bullish, which I'm more leaning the 3-wave move, and I hate to be bearish like that, but because of, you know, the way most of the others look, I would more lean that it would do the 3-wave, but you never know. Okay. So you know, it's got to not break the yellow line. If it does, then I'm completely wrong about this 5 waves, but it looks pretty good to me, which means that you're looking at an A. A B is not allowed to break that trend line, so this may come down a little deeper, and then you're going up for C, or it's very bullish. And this one is hitting totally corrective fibs so far, so it really has a good chance to make a B here. So looking at this, it kind of tells me that some way Bitcoin probably will try to climb like this. But we'll have to wait and see. So, yeah, that's a decentralized mana. I'm going to write that one down. This is a good one to watch, guys. Okay. Just want to make sure everything's still okay with the live. Where was my thing? I lost it. Alpha, if you're still here, could you post it again? Oh, there it is. Sheep. What a pump and dump that was, huh? All right. Well, this one has broke its 4. It's prior to grief 4, which isn't good. And it has no, like, really good support. Like, this is total nothingness. When we pump green candles like that, that means that there's, like, nothing there to hold us. Like, this bounce was very surprising that it was able to hold, and it held that last little bit of volume there. Okay. And then this is a 3-wave move, unfortunately. So this looks like W, X, Y. Okay. And now we've made this 3-wave move. So now what it can do, just like Bitcoin, is turn this 3 waves, and get higher. And that is what all of them need to do. The higher the B, the higher the X, the better. Because when we connect this leg to it, it'll bring the leg up. Okay. Oops. So we need this leg to go as high as possible so that this partner leg can be higher. Okay. Give us a correction like that would be really good. I know that's ugly, guys, but this is 3 waves, and the best thing that it can do with it is climb and make a high B. Otherwise, it just means that if it doesn't do this, well, then unfortunately we're connecting it like this. And I hate to say that, if it's going to break this support right here, it's just going to fall. And this support here needs to hold it right here. because we do not want to break that bottom. Like, that wouldn't even make sense if we did, because this is a good looking 5-wave move. All right. So they're pretty much all in the same boat, just some of them have broken the fourth and some of them haven't. So, you know, just like the one I talked about before, this was its prior degree fourth, but we do have a fourth sitting here, but it really, guys, a higher degree fourth, like this would have been the perfect correction to do this. That would have been bullish, like really bullish. And then it could have taken off for the fifth. But it didn't do that. Okay. This is 3 waves right here. And that hit the expanded B pocket. So I think it's the same as most of the others, and that, I mean, it could be argued that that's 5 waves, but it really looks like a B. And this looks a lot like ETH, the way it's coming down. So, and this move here is getting very close, like it tapped the bottom of breaking it. So the best thing that can happen right now is that it tries to make a flat here and it gets high so that the partner leg, whether it comes from here or over here, won't be as deep. Maybe it can hold there. If it loses there, it's coming down to here. Like a lot of these look like they're in wave twos. And it's all going to depend on if Bitcoin will rally and bring these connectors up high. Because then the partner will be higher. And we can potentially maybe hold here instead of there. Luna. Well, this was an old projection. All right, so Luna actually looks pretty good here. This hit exactly its 5th wave target. So what does that mean? Well, it means most likely Luna is creating a higher degree fourth. Go, Chloe. Go. Um, Okay, so Luna looks good actually. Let me get it down a little bit lower here. This really looks like 3 waves that it started off with. And then we have what looks like 3 waves here. So that's WXY. But what it can do is make this W, this X, if it can get as high as possible, just like all the others. Okay, if this can climb, then it'll bring this leg up higher. Now, at that point, obviously, it's going to need a 5-wave move to get out of here. All of them, no matter what, when they potentially make a low, they need a 5-wave move to get out. If it doesn't, well, we all know what happens from the beginning of the stream and how a bear market goes about. Then, it'll attach this to this to this, and then it'll have another chance. And if it doesn't do it, and then it goes on until it finally makes that 5-wave move to get out of here. But all in all, Luna looks really good. Like, if this is a final, if this is a 5th, I really see this making a higher degree 4th because of how high it is above its prior degree 4th. Okay. It could just tap the top of this as a higher degree 4th and then push up again for its 5th. Like, Luna looks way better than Bitcoin or even ETH. Luna looks really good. If it came down into here and could hold, I would definitely, not financial advice, but I would be looking for a buy. Out of all of them I've looked at so far, this one and that Mana looks the best. Paulo, do you believe if we have a war in Ukraine that prices will go down? You know, probably. Probably. We can take a look at the SPX, but I mean, I don't have the like definite answer for that, but I guess we'd have